May 21st, 2019, Bear Alpha is released. This is a Roblox game created by Cheetah Man, in which you must run from a creature called Bear who is trying to kill you. To escape, there are puzzles that you need to solve that will reduce the timer. While the puzzles aren't needed to win, they are a big incentive to the players. The reason for its early success is the different kind of game it was, along with all the content in it, like the cosmetics you can get, or trying to play through all the maps with friends. There was a lot to do and play. While it was not a new concept running from a killer, in Bear it just felt different. While the characters looked goofy, it still felt fun and scary, which mixed the genre perfectly for a Roblox game. The puzzles were also solvable for people just trying out the game, but still satisfying to complete every time you would do it, and it would help the team win overall. With all these factors of how the game was, it was no surprise that it would blow up since it had all the needed parts like replayability, strong community, lore, and lots of updates, with it even making it to Roblox's homepage recommendations. At the height of its popularity, it saw as much as 9,000 players on it at once, while at current day it only has 400, which is 4% of what it once had. While it is expected for a game to have its player base drop down over time due to the lack of updates, this game's decline wasn't as simple as that. September 29th, 2020, Bear Star is released. This changed everything for the community. Made also by Cheetah Man, this game is basically Bear Alpha but improved in almost every way, including new maps, modes, sounds, and even better cosmetics. This game was even being updated frequently and more often than Bear Alpha, but it was never able to reach the same level of success as its peak was 2,728 players, and there are 132 players online. This is a strange case to me because while obviously there were updates to the game, it was never able to beat Bear Alpha. Once Bear Star was released, both player counts for the games plummeted, with it being from September 29th, 2020 onward, the player count for Bear Alpha was around 1,000 or lower, and Bear Star was stuck with around 300 average players. Things would stay slow for Alpha until May of this year, where it was around 1,700, and had this especially interesting surge recently in September, with around 3,000 players online at once. While things are currently looking up for Bear Alpha, the same cannot be said for Bear Star, with it being discontinued and the development being focused on Bear Alpha now. According to the creator, the reason for it was reaching the 3-year mark. It has become more and more difficult to keep this game moving forward. The formula has been in play for more than 4 years, and at this point, counting Bear Alpha is admittedly getting old, both figuratively and literally. The spark we had for the game just isn't as bright anymore, and instead of trying to force it and continue until it fizzles out, we want to take the leap and try something new. When I learned about the cancellation of the game, it had me thinking about why, and if the original Bear would be next. I was shocked to find out how good Bear Alpha was actually doing, but it made me start thinking about what caused its downfall initially, from one of the most beloved Roblox games always being on the front page of horror. It's clear to see that the downfall of Bear was the creation of Bear Star. While the concept of creating a better game is amazing, I feel like Roblox games do not need sequels, and instead of splitting up the player base, just update the base game, which in this scenario would be Bear Alpha. While it might ruin the nostalgia of the game, I would rather have Bear talked about as a current game instead of a distant memory like, hey, do you remember that Roblox game Bear? If this was done correctly, it could have been a Murder Mystery 2 situation, with people still able to remember what it was like and still get to play a loved game. Once Bear Star was out, the updates for the games slowed down in an attempt to make them feel equal in updates. While one would get an exclusive event like Alpha Month, where Bear Alpha was prioritized for its birthday month, Bear Star would still get content, but just more limited. It seemed as if the creator wanted to step away from Bear Alpha and continue along with Bear Star, but the community did not feel the same way. But I'm not sure why. I personally think that the core players of Bear realized that there was 2 different games, but the casual ones who saw a video or just looked up Bear on Roblox would see Alpha at first, which made Bear Star live in its shadow even if it was better in every way. If a single game was getting all the updates both Bears got, I feel like there would be no way it would have faded away, since in total the game had 66 updates in 5 years, which means it got 13.2 updates a year or an update every month. Instead of this highly updated game though, we instead got 2 games, with Bear Alpha having 27 updates, with the biggest being the Alpha Forever update, which is how the game is still currently, and Bear Star having 39, with most of the updates being major since it was the main game focused on for 3 years. While it's a little balanced, it's not really that much if you account for all the time it took to initially produce Bear Star and all the base content that was released with it. This is always a game I loved and remember playing it years ago with my sister, so it has value to me. The splitting of the community and resources into 2 games is what I believe caused the game to go downwards, making it where it lies currently. I really do think that Bear could be a top Roblox game, and with Bear Star now gone and the players peaking for the first time in years, I do actually have hope that it could happen. To end on the high note, there is something that I did not mention, which is in 2021 during an event, Cheetah Man confirmed that Bear Alpha Deluxe would be coming out in the future, which is just updating the game to current day. Basically what Bear Star tried to do, but updating Alpha instead of creating a new one, which was the problem that started all this. It will come out in waves, but will have things like most maps being redesigned, new game modes, and of course, revamping the skins for the game. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took a lot of time and research to find out what I was talking about, but it was a fun overall. I hope you guys subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1K before the end of the year, and bye!